we are so excited for today. I think probably Maria more than most, because this has been a labor of love, frustration, joy, and excitement to get to this point. And I am so thankful for her tenacity and also her believing in downtown. And when she saw this building, seeing the vision for the building and our vision that we have for downtown. So thank you, Maria, for sticking with us. We really appreciate it. So much of the lifeblood of downtown and really New York State is our small business owners. And it has certainly been a challenging time the last 3 years, but Mayor Sheehan really understands the challenges and wants to come alongside and support our small business owners who employ local employees, who spend their money locally and reinvest back into the community. And one of the ways that she's done that is through funding, through the ARPA, the COVID federal relief money. And with myself and the Central Avenue Business Improvement District and Arbor Hill Development Corporation, we have a pot of $750,000 to support small businesses citywide. And that was a really big priority. And the mayor, Capitalize Albany, also has another $750,000. So $1.5 million to support our small businesses here in the city of Albany. So I'd like to invite the mayor to say a few words.
Thank you. Thank you, Georgette. And I think one of the reasons that I have an understanding of the challenges and opportunities faced by our small businesses is because of your leadership, the work of the bid, and the fact that we can work collaboratively together to ensure that we understand where the challenges are, where the opportunities are, and how we can continuously improve to make the experience of small businesses here in the city of Albany one that allows them to grow and to want to encourage more businesses to come here. So I always say I never stake a claim to perfection, but we really care, and it's something that we really love seeing happen. And this is another wonderful small business that grew out of a passion, that grew out of a quality product, and it's feeding the local market. And so this virtuous cycle, it seems like every time a business opens, there's another business opportunity that spawns itself, and then another business opportunity that spawns itself. And this is an example of one of those businesses. When I think about the ribbon cuttings I've done at the places that you now supply, it really is exciting to see, because I love how the small businesses in this community support and lift up one another. And we are actually recognized nationally. There is a website sort of curator, a GoDaddy, who's remembered for a really bad Super Bowl ad, but they have a different business model now, and they asked us, how do you do this? Because we've created a small business ecosystem here that is engaged, that helps one another, and that encourages other small businesses to open. And you're another member of that club, so thank you for investing here and being a part of it. Thank you.
So this morning I had an opportunity to meet with some of our elected officials, and Congressman Tonka was there. I know he's unable to be here now because he has another appointment. But we really had an opportunity to speak with him and Natalie and talking about some of the grants at the federal level. How do we get them into small business owners' hands? How do we make the process easier? And he just certainly has been, gosh, I see him at every single event. There must be 7 of them. I don't understand how that happens, but he really is bringing money back, federal money back into our community. And so we are really thankful for his support, and I'd like to invite Natalie from his office to say a few words.
Hi everyone, my name is Natalie Lincoln. I'm the grants coordinator for the office, and like I said, I work with our small businesses to help them access grants. With COVID, there were a lot of funding opportunities that were new, especially with ARPA, with what the city's doing. We really are proud of that work. I'm proud of Maria and the work that she's done. Bringing vibrant businesses to Albany's downtown is incredibly important, and we hope that more is to come. Thank you.
So this last 3 years has been challenging and exciting and created really these unique opportunities. And we wouldn't be able to do that without our state elected officials, our state leaders, who really have been championing small businesses for us, helping the other elected officials understand the challenges that we face, but also where there's opportunities and creating those opportunities for us, particularly here in our capital city. And so I'd like to invite Senator Breslin to say a few words.
Thank you very much. And I'm joined by so many elected officials that it's a tribute to the rock star, Maria. I think it's going to give all of us an opportunity. I love small business, but I particularly love small business when it has a connection to where I was born and raised and where I now still live. And so, Maria, this project is phenomenal. And it's going to grow and grow and grow. I expect to see someone, either you or someone in your organization, in my office, probably going like this. But that's okay too, because small business builds our economy. And I'm just so happy to be here, and I wish you every success. And I look forward. I have a wife that drinks tea all day, so I was looking around for samples, but that's a different story. Thank you very much.
We also, during COVID, had these, I don't know, I call them listening sessions, listening tours, where our state elected leaders came and really sat down with small businesses and heard what their challenges were, heard where they needed help, where they maybe needed someone to help grease the wheels, maybe, to help move through the state system to really help our small businesses. And many of those things that were expressed, Assemblywoman Fahey, Assemblymember McDonald, and Senator Breslin really advocated on our behalf, like the cap on delivery fees for third-party delivery like DoorDash and Uber Eats, helping us with the SLA, and hopefully there'll be more news to come on changes at the SLA. And Pat and I have also had several conversations about how do we bring our state employees back to downtown. And so we had that conversation this morning with the senator, and Pat and I have had those conversations, but they really truly are listening and are making a change on behalf of our small businesses. So Pat?
Thank you. And yes, I did bring up those state workers at a budget hearing the other day. We need the state workers back here. But today, this is so celebratory. When I saw Maria Gallo, I last saw her as we were walking our children to school. So our kids are the same age, and fondest memories here of our school. And to see that she's still connected with the schools, it's great to see our Albany schools represented through Mr. Julian. This is wonderful. We can't say it enough. Small business is the lifeblood of the economy. Craft beverages, craft food, I'm proud to have sponsored so much legislation on that because, again, that's what this is. Ag and markets, I think it's amazing what they have done and how it's really impacted the upstate area in general. And I have to give a shout out. They were before us as well earlier this week, Ag and Markets. What they've done with our farmers markets, and so many small businesses that have launched from the farmers markets as well. So it is all about starting small, and that virtuous cycle that the mayor mentioned is so true. It's so encouraging. Everyone, whether large or small businesses, have struggled coming out of the COVID years. But again, it's small business that ultimately is going to really make us regain what was lost through the COVID years. So this is just exciting. And Maria, I have to assume this is named after your mom? Is it?
My grandmother.
Your grandmother. Okay. All right. I mean, it's great to just see all in the family as well. So great name as well. And thank you, everybody. Just such a pleasure.
So county executive is actually with the congressman, and so he couldn't come, but we're always thrilled to have Jeff Jameson attend on his behalf. Jeff was previously at the city, so he is passionate about the city of Albany and downtown in particular. Their offices are in downtown, and the county early on created some funding to help small businesses during COVID. We're continuing to have conversations about their ARPA funding and how they're spending it, and making sure we're advocating for our small businesses there as well. But they've launched a new economic development arm, and it's really having impacts both here in the city and throughout the county. So, John, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Georgette, for your kind words. And I really want to thank the mayor and for, you know, your vision in downtown. And we talk about the backbone of the downtown areas. It is small business, but it's also got to be interwoven and be the fabric. And you talk about what small businesses can do to help weave in with other businesses, and this is a prime example of that. And I can't say enough how important it is for us to invest in it. And that means each and every one of you out there, you need to support not only this company, but the companies that are distributing the product, right? And it's buying locally. It's the other small businesses to make sure that you're supporting the small businesses. It's getting that message out. And we do have a ARPA funding that we're gonna have a process coming out in the spring, and we look forward to supporting small businesses through that effort. But my congratulations to you, Maria, to you and your team for taking a shot on downtown, for investing in downtown, for continuing in our community that has been built up. And you look around and see all the apartments and all the development that has happened under our mayor, and it's a really proud day to be here and help cut the ribbon on behalf of County Executive McCoy, who was born and raised here. So thank you very much.
So now the main star, who you are all here to support and completely love and wrap your arms around. Maria is clearly infectious, and I think so I first actually, before I met Maria, I had Nani's iced tea at Andrew's Burger Chef, and had it there. And so when she said, hey, this is what I'm trying to do, I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally know who you are. I'm really excited you're thinking about downtown. And when I talk about COVID bringing new exciting opportunities, like we have a bilingual Montessori school in downtown that opened after COVID, right? We have a candy shop that's going to be coming to downtown. And we have a iced tea bottling manufacturing facility in downtown, right? These are new and exciting opportunities here in the city. We have over 50 eateries, and so we will help Maria get connected to each one of those and see how we can make sure that we can support each other, just like we do with Nine Pin and Albany Distilling and in our restaurants and our bars, and really supporting that local economy. But Maria has also become like the den mother of this building, and probably is like the main proponent of like, okay, well, how can I help you? How can we work together? Do you want to open a new business? Do you want to locate in 99 Pine? I got this space for you. What do you want to do? And so it's really wonderful to have other people who see the vision, know where we're going, and are supporting and working with us. So I'm just extremely thankful both for you and for your business. And so thank you for coming here. Welcome.
All right, I'm going to try and get there without crying, but I do have tissues in my pocket. Thank you to everyone, Georgette and everyone who's here today. Georgette Steffens really is such a big part of this, because when I first looked at this building and decided I wanted to be here, I went through the process of funding, and then things kept falling through, and every time that happened, I would call Georgette back. And she never said, you know, all right, call me back in 6 months. She would say to me, all right, call these 3 people. And I would call those 3 people. And then when that didn't work out, 3 months later, I would cycle back and call again. She would say, all right, call this guy, and then call this guy. So she really was excited for me to be here before we even got so deep into it. But I have to say, going back even further than that, Joe Landy. Sorry, buddy, I gotta give you a shout out. I met Joe Landy years ago when he was at the chamber, and when he was at Capitalize Albany, he knew what had happened with all of my bottlers and the first bottler and after the second bottler. I think this was about maybe 2018. And I went to Capitalize Albany, just kind of walked in like, I had all these shops asking for tea and I had no way to make tea. And we were sitting at the conference table and he said, well, why don't we just order something down here? And I looked at him and I said, what am I, Rick Sicari? I was like, I don't know how to commercially make iced tea. And he looked at me across the table and said, they'll figure it out. And that was it. And that was really, sorry Landy, but that was really what made me think, all right, maybe I can. And I left and I texted Rick Sicari and I said, my God, Landy thinks I can do this. And he sent me his machinery people. And it just kind of snowballed from there. I have to thank Chris Madelone and his partner staff and Chris's family, because when all the funding kept falling through, he kept me here and said, don't worry, we'll figure it out. So they've been amazing. So in turn, I was taking care of the building, and they've been so wonderful. Then I met Ed and Lisa Mitson, where are my BFG people? And they were just amazing. I mean, when I first met with Ed, he just said, listen, let's do this, I want to help out. And so it's just been so, I feel so blessed. I love this building right when I walked into it, because I love that you can walk outside and you're in the middle of downtown. But if I want to just come in the back door and make tea all day, I can do that. Nani, one thing by Nani, she got me here, and I know she's here somewhere. But I'm so thankful for everyone, and to look around this room and to see, Tom Gillio, my principal, who every time something bad happens, going back to 2016, this is a long ride. He would say, he'd come in and, what's going on, Gallo? And I would say, blah, blah, blah. He'd say, all right, it's just another chapter for the book. It's just another chapter for the book. And my Delmore people, John Hooper, the way that he stayed with me and carried my product, and from the beginning believed in me, and then to see all my Albany people, my Albany High people here, and it's just been, I just feel blessed. I need to have Senator Breslin talk about, getting tea in Delmar, but then to have all my downtown people here, Frank and Karen and my BFG people here, I'm just so grateful, and I feel so blessed, and I'm just thankful. So I want to thank everybody for being here today, and I don't want to cry.
And we forgot to mention the great dress.
I know.
That's the first thing I wanted to say. I love the theme dress.
Great dress.
Yeah.
Yes, theme, right on cue. We should have our
As long as you're not running, I think we can get it done.
Should we not trust you with sign scissors?
Over here, so you want us to slide over here?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, we have
the pillars.
We have two more pairs of scissors.
Oh my God, my friend.
You want shoulder scissors? Cool.
She's like, you go in the middle.
So slide over a little more, I'm trying to make sure we get all the equipment in.
Come up. So you come up, yeah. I just want Lexi here. BFG.
Alright, so we're gonna have to squeeze in nice and tight. And maybe turn, and we're just gonna, we're gonna like pose. So everyone turn a little sideways and squeeze in so we can all, maybe just a squeeze more.
Yeah, can you take one step this way, please?
Everyone slide towards me.
Can you move down this way a little bit, please?
Sure.
A little bit more, sorry. Like trying to fit on the elevator at the egg. Okay.
Okay, so we're just gonna smile and look at look at different spots in the room because there's lots of cameras.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so we'll count down on the count of, well, I'll count up to 3. On the count of 3, ready? 1, 2, 3.